when they brought this to Mistress Kirsten, who was the owner of Ye Olde Shop.
That's right.
The finest emporium.
So now you meet Mistress Kirsten.
Finest emporium and shop establishment in all of Ravensport, probably the only one. Mistress Kirsten, being a very old elven, well, she's not even a maiden, she's just an old elf, but she recalled a story to the guys how how Mistress Kirsten was involved in sealing Skeksis into that tomb, and it was a purpose-built prison, and he was magically caught in stasis and sealed in there. They couldn't kill him, and that's a story for another session, I think, as the elven.
Well, we haven't.
No,
as yet.
So I can't play that gag, but she did reveal to the party that after they'd imprisoned Skeksis in that tomb, she stayed on board to be a guarder or a watcher.
Sure.
So she's hundreds of years old. So, and even elaborated that the tomb's been safe under her guardianship for nearly 800 years.
And she said it's going to take some time to confer with the council.
Yep.
And basically for us to, as I put it, kick the dog.
Yep. So it's probably been about a week of time since that initial meeting, maybe a bit over.
Well, then we went to the bounty board.
Yep.
But prior to that, some reason or another, now did we or did we not lose Pirate Steve for a night, if you recall?
Yeah.
Now this is where the argument over magical items, etc. Maybe that was later in the piece.
That was later in the piece.
All right. So before then, we had the run-in with the.
You went down the sewers because you saw a bounty off the bounty board for a gold piece per skeever tail.
Wasn't there that we had the thing with the meat pie?
Yeah.
So was that before then? That's
when the bard brought you down the sewers and you almost died. And you got the skeever fever.
So, and that was like, actually it was Caracas, whatever his name was. Carrick, that got knocked out.
No, it was Mr. Lawsinger.
This is when we were playing. That's right.
Yeah, Mr. Lawsinger. So let's go down to the sewers instead, and not appropriately leveled because I designed it for you to release Skeksis first.
So we digress because now I think about it, we originally started this campaign with somebody that we hope will rejoin, who we played a previous campaign with for some time. And long story short, he was a bard, and he's the one that got knocked out.
That's right, and he got the skeever fever.
He got the skeever fever.
Yep.
And then Morgaine joined our motley crew, and so we're not going from notes, we're just riffing.
Yep.
So this is the magic.
Yep. So you investigated the sewers for a little bit, and that's where, after defeating some skeevers, Pirate Steve still thinks they're too small to be skeevers, really. You met Nana Periwinkle.
That's right.
That's right.
Now that's something else.
Yeah, Nana Periwinkle. The legends are real, eh?
Yeah. So prior to our encounter with Nana Periwinkle, there was an interesting situation where there was these alarm
shriekers. They're called. They're like mushrooms, but all they do is just make a hell of a racket.
And they did that.
That's right, because that's Nana Winkle's doorbell. Nana Periwinkle's doorbell. She needs to know if people are coming.
Yeah, which she did. Yeah. So it was
uninvited guests are so rude.
It was a bit of a one-sided fight because they didn't fight back, but
no,
it was
just kept wailing and wailing and wailing.
And we did get a little bit of XP for that.
Yeah, not much.
Sure about the XP. And then we encountered Nana Periwinkle for the first time.
That's right.
Now, when Pirate Steve did so, he was. The legends are true. He's prostrated himself once again. In awe.
Offered the bottle of rum. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't believe you.
Yeah, even gave her a bottle of rum, man.
Yep.
You know?
No, the legends are real, and
swore his undying commitment to Nana Periwinkle. And
this is the urban legend that looks after the sailors and keeps them safe at sea.
And that was our first encounter with Nana Periwinkle.
Mm-hmm. The sea witch.
At this time, she presented us with a somewhat dubious task.
Yeah, after sharing a a bowl of her gruel
Yes.
while she was braiding Morgane's hair.
Yeah.
She presented you, she made you an offer.
Which was to bring her a child.
Yep,
For purposes unknown.
A female child.
For purposes unknown. Now, none of us were really grooving on that. You know, I mean, we're not a bad bunch. We didn't really want to give her that. And so we declined. And it didn't sit well, but, you know, she wasn't that impressed. But she didn't sort of go to fuck our day at that point.
No. Doesn't need to.
Yeah. We closed the campaign for that night, and we came back the next night. And Crocodilus.
Yeah.
Crocodilus was mentioned at that juncture.
That's right, yep. Nana Periwinkle wanted you to search out the rest of the sewers and destroy Crocodilus.
Yeah, because it, as she put it, was no longer fun, or words to that effect. Like she.
That's right. It's becoming more of a menace.
That's right. Now, my argument was that if it's trouble for Nana Periwinkle, us as unseasoned adventurers would probably not have much chance.
Unseasoned. That's an interesting term. Can you define it for me?
Well,
and the
unseasoned.
listeners, unseasoned.
Well,
you're about level 3 at the time.
We were still, you know, like unblooded. You know, we hadn't really had a lot of experience in the art of combatry. Hey? You know, a few fights here and there.
That's great.
A couple of drinks in the bar, but you know, just not.
I think the word you're
not
looking
seasoned
for is confidence, really.
Well, confidence,
Well,
which brings me, because some things running tangentially, there was at this point, around that same point, there was talk of the Caravan of Courage, and that was a bounty. So be aware that there is a shortage of stock in Ravenstown.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the caravans were being waylaid by forces unknown.
Yes.
And supplies are hard enough to come by in a frontier town, but the current caravans heading from I think I've called it
sort of
Hammerdale.
west.
What have I called
like
it? Yeah, I'm pretty fluid with the fucking map.
Yeah.
Hammerdale is the town many leagues to the east of Ravensport. And it started off initially, a few of the caravans weren't getting through to the point where the merchants were too scared to take the trips. So resources are being strangled.
Prices are at a premium.
Yep.
We're paying high prices for things.
Oh yeah,
and there's a shortage, you know, that we couldn't get bowstrings, etc.
Yeah, just like in the real world, you know.
Yeah.
Supply and demand.
So that's something that for a while now we've been wanting to address, because obviously to have more stock available and better prices. But at that point, Mistress Kirsten said that it perhaps would be above our pay grade.
Well, without letting any gags and just letting the viewers know, I'll just slot in. They're not ready at level 3 to fight a CR5 monster. It'd just kill them.
Okay,
so
there's your answer right
That's
there.
right, that's the answer.
So we've had the warning for some time now.
I think she advised against it. She said... She didn't say don't do it.
But she said wouldn't stand much chance, or worse.
No, because that's like saying you're going to die. She probably just advised, be wary. She thinks that's. So I think in the analogy was, if what was stopping the caravans is enough to stop the caravans plus the hired mercenary guards, then that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. Hence the issue. Yeah. You know, I mean, these are people that are trained and rah.
Or just
stopping a bunch of people.
A tip from the DM just to say no, not yet. Not yet.
So the bounties at the minute. You've got the Caravan of Courage. You've got Nana Periwinkle's request for the child, which we're not going to be doing in a hurry. Nonetheless, Crocodilus in the sewers. Now we've addressed the Well of Solstice, although we may come back there for the Dark Ritual, which now we're getting contemporary. Skeever Tales. So there is a
gold per skeever tail.
Yep, and that bounty is from Lieutenant Gorman, ergo the town guard.
Yep, clear out the rats from the sewers.
And which brings us to the rat meat, which the somewhat dubious pie seller in the market is requesting rat meat.
Yeah, Pirate Steve was right.
And Pirate Steve knew. He said it up front that
Yeah.
it's not meat.
Rat's not
He didn't
meat.
want to pay for his pie.
Yeah, because
And to curry favour, or whatever, just because he's a nice bloke, but Carrick paid for a pie that Pirate Steve was
Arr.
reluctant
rat's not meat. Rum is full.
to pay for.
Yeah.
Because we did have a slight falling out with Pirate Steve,
Yep.
and that sucked. Like, not to have him in the party sucked, and we went and found him and rah rah rah. That's another story, but you know. So, Nana Periwinkle?
Yeah,
Then
you're
back
covering
upstairs.
off the bounties, yeah.
Yeah, went back upstairs after
Yep.
Nana Periwinkle, and then we returned back to the sewers and
Yep.
explored again,
Yep.
as is our want to come and go like the resters that we are.
That's right, the long resters.
Yeah, the long resters.
The long resters.
You know, but hey, exhaustion sucks. You know, you saw, I don't know if you did or not, but you know, level 5 exhaustion is not pretty.
Yeah, you almost snuffed it. If
Yeah,
I'd rolled...
I was like that far off losing my character, and I'm actually the highest level character. Me and Steve are, well, I'm actually slightly higher because
Yeah.
I did an extra encounter, so
Yeah.
I'm the highest level.
Whoa!
Hey, the King of Castle.
That's right.
But yeah, so after Nana Periwinkle,
Yeah, you flitted in and out of the sewers for a little bit, and
Yep.
then I've thrown in a few... Because you've released Skeksis now, the cultists and the zealous fanatics are starting to become more active, you know, in order to
Yes.
raise his undead
Yes.
army of
Yep.
evil to
Yep.
take over the world.
Sure.
So now you're starting to see the cultist activity. And I think the first one we had, and it's a shame we only got one episode of it, because
I
that
know,
was a
the dark
glorious
ritual.
fight that was. That was an
Dark-
awesome combat.
that was, and look, that was a really big encounter, and ended up with I think 2 of us down on the ground.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, and again a near thing. You know, a lot of these
Yeah.
have been very close battles.
Probably
So,
to date, I think,
probably
up until that time, that
Closest.
was like the ultimate
yeah,
fight we
that
had.
really was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, obviously, that last encounter where I nearly died.
That's right.
That was
Arthur Weller coming in the middle of the night. Oh, come, sirs. come,
That's
sirs, The,
a knock at the door, which
You
again, that's contemporary
the
for
graveyard, and
viewers.
so it's a shame that we didn't get all of that in there.
Yeah, and that is a pity. But again, just to offer another insight is that originally we would do a bit of D&D and we have a bit of rock and roll in the background. But then we decided that, hey, capture the moment,
Yeah.
record it.
Share it with everyone.
Share it.
Yeah.
Only problem is copyright infringement, ergo the music had to go.
Yeah.
So I had to cut, because I do the video editing, right, or whatever, and it's not video editing so much as sitting there with a 4 gig RAM computer and chugging the numbers. So that's what the stories write themselves. It's already all there, and that's why we didn't get the end of that.
We got the start of it.
Yeah.
But the gist of it was the guys managed to halt the ritual. So, because all Skeksis' agents and followers are interested in is raising this undead army.
That's right, because it was a dark ritual.
Yeah.
And that was in Weather Solstice. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
Weather
right.
Solstice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then, what did we do after that? I threw another. I don't think you went down the sewers again. I threw another ritual. No.
No, that's
No. That's
Carrick started with the Beast of Burden. Now we're getting contemporary.
no, because we sort of
Isn't it?
before the Dark Ritual there was Carrick's quest.
Yeah.
Carrick was a ranger,
Yeah.
and at 3rd level he gets to choose his archetype. And,
Yeah.
and as you guys are starting to learn that with Dizzy, there's 2 ways to do things: the
Mm.
boring way
Mm.
or the super cool
Mm.
way. So rather than just have he chose Beastmaster, and rather than just have this beast just appear in a puff of logic, I thought I'll make it a quest. You know, make it really cool.
Yeah.
So.
Which was a cool encounter.
Well, that ties into the beast because he's helped save it,
That's right.
it really gels the relationship better. So he had a feeling that he needed to be somewhere else, and he was drawn to a forest clearing to the east of town, and that's where they came across a couple of ogres building the remains of a wolf pack.
Which pretty much when we first got in there, one of them was already basically.
Yep.
That was the
Yep.
final of that, and the kick of that was that this beast couldn't be, like, it would make death saves,
Yeah,
if I'm right.
yeah.
But once it died, that was the end of the beast.
Yeah.
So there was, our little treasure, and it was, I mean, it wasn't like a dragon or something like that. It was a low level.
Just
a
a wolf.
yeah.
Just basic beast chosen off
So
the ranger
relatively
archetype.
low AC, and hit points, and but what it was cool for a bit, and then so Dark Ritual. Then what's the next?
Yeah, because the Dark Ritual was after that. But like I said,
oh, it was too. Sorry.
yeah, Dark Ritual was after that. But having that fight for Carrick made him feel a lot more attached to his companion.
Right.
So once again, good theatre.
Could have just rolled a dice, but
rolled a dice, or just it appears in a puff of logic, and that's rubbish.
Yeah, so
that's
it was,
rubbish.
and
Plus, he healed it at the end of the combat to restore it, to stop it from dying, and that thing was twitching.
I know.
No tomorrow.
I know.
Front leg, back leg.
On the ground, man.
Makes him feel more attached to it. So, and by him healing it at the end of combat, that creates a bond, and much better story, I think. Anyway.
No, I liked it.
So, after that one, I reckon that was the rescue mission.
That's right. So.
And
shortly after getting the beast, Carrick decides he doesn't want to be Carrick no more.
No.
Because when we entered this campaign, originally, Dizzy's taken over, and there was talk of undead and such, and Cleric. I mean, the cleric, what a mighty fucking, wow, what a great
thing. It was mentioned in session 0 that I love undead monsters.
Yeah. So we're going to take
even as a DM from when we used to play, when I used to play back in first edition, second edition, loved undead monsters. Loved them, and even explained in session 0 that this campaign has got to have undead in it because I love it. Yeah, I love it. They're filthy.
So we had the heads up.
So they knew. I thought at least one of them,
you got to run a cleric.
Would run a cleric.
You got to, and they're just so awesome. Now I thought that Tom was going to run the cleric, so I just went, all right, well I'll go paladin because I love paladins, but I was going to pick a cleric because they're OP, and especially if we got undead. I just thought that he was going to take a cleric. And
I assumed he was too. I even thought he said words to set effect.
Yeah, he threw us all a 6 when he picked a ranger of all things.
Rocks up to session 1 with the ranger,
and we're just like, what the fuck? But we worked with it, and it was sort of pretty cool because you got the ranger, you got your wizard, and you got your paladin, so the meat shield's there, and
don't forget,
good fun.
You got Pirate Steve.
Oh, and Pirate Steve.
Don't forget Pirate Steve.
That's the bonus. That's the bonus. So you got 2 meat shields. Well, he's not meat shield.
Oh, wow, what a term of endearment that is.
2 up close. 2 up close.
I fight better with friends.
He fights better with friends. Yeah. So I'm technically meat shield, and my mate next to me, the mighty Pirate Steve, and we all hate the Pirate Steve fan club.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest fan. Me and Pirate Steve, we're like that, man. We just.
Well, you are Pirate Steve's only friend in Ravensport.
True friend, you know.
True friend.
Yep. And
true friend.
Always. Anyway. Digress.
So look, Carrick decides, no, I'm not going to run with a level 4 ranger now because you've just gone up a level.
Yeah, like level 4, man.
You and Pirate Steve and Carrick, level 4, and you're like, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. I want to roll the cleric, and it's like, yeah, that's cool. You can retire, Carrick.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to have this.
There's no coming and going.
There's no this week it's revolving door PCs. It's like, nah. You retire this guy, and he's gone until a new campaign comes up.
Fair too.
Fair enough. Yeah. And I said to Tommy, you can roll this dude up, but it's going to be level 1, and I'm not changing the DOD. All right. The encounters are what they are. Yeah. That's it.
So
and he was happy to do so.
So what's basically, long story short, of somewhat the situation is that, so there's me. I've started the campaign, with this character. Pirate Steve has come along and only missed 1 fight.
Well, he followed you after. Remember Carrick, and we're going back now. I know we're jumping to and fro on the timeline, but please bear with us. You'll be worth it in the end. He did follow you that night after Carrick told him, because he was following around like a fart in the phone box, and Carrick said, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "I'm just following you." And
it's my friend.
Remember, he go, "No, fuck off." And he went,
That's right. Carrick told him to fuck off.
And he never forgot that,
Yeah, the silver tongue of Carrick.
Yeah, how to win friends and influence people. Should have read Dale's book,
Sure, but he's come good. He's
but he did follow you to the cemetery, and he watched, and he laughed so hard when that's right. Carrick tried to climb the wall and fell when you're trying to run away.
Because Pirate Steve, it turns out, what do you know? He's a lockpick. What do you know? So I didn't tell you that. But nonetheless, and then we did originally start with our other friend, who was rolling the bard, which, hey, why not? Then more gains come. So meanwhile, Carrick is going the whole time, so Carrick and I were the same level. But now, Carrick's gone right down the bottom. He's just come up, he's level 2 now.
Balazar.
Is level 2.
The Dragonborn Cleric.
Morgaine is level 3.
Yeah.
And I'm level 4. And Pirate Steve, I would say, is well into level 4.
Oh, he's level 12.
Yeah. So there you go.
Not really, no.
So the team itself is somewhat tiered. So when we're encountering these battles, and as the Dungeon Master stated, the DoD has not been altered.
No.
So just bear that in mind. That
I'm not rewriting stuff just because someone wants to change
there's some
stuff,
lower level characters, but then again there's
they're going to have to grin and bear it. And look, and he's done it because
it's holding his own.
And once again, boring way. Oh, we go to the Rat and Cheese, and there's a dude in the corner at a table. You know, oh hello mate, come join us. You know,
which
boring.
brings us to the rescue mission.
Super boring.
The rescue mission, which you've witnessed.
Yeah,
and if you haven't watched it, it's a great episode.
Oh, you should. What a great way to introduce a new PC, other than
naked, bound, with a ball.
Like, dude, roll your guy up, kit him out with all the gear, and then when he first meets the guy, he's tied down to an altar.
Can't even cast a spell.
No, ready to get his head smashed down with
at the mercy of a
fucking maul.
Yeah. And if we didn't, I'm gathering, if we didn't stop the wizard, that he would have maybe got his head lopped off.
He was going to crown him king for sure.
There you are, king of the castle before he even started.
Oh,
would have been a complete new...
And that was a great, there's ways to introduce characters.
The tension,
I thought it was great.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying, hit the wizard. Hit that wizard, man. And Pirate Steve, again, Pirate Steve.
Oh, that was a great way to finish that off. And look, I'm not a fan, of Pirate Steve being the hero, because you guys are meant to be the heroes.
Oh, man, I happily...
the magic missile to cane the guy.
That was gold.
Kaz was unfortunate.
That was gold.
Morgaine didn't a few more bits of damage and it would have been alright. But, Pirate Steve, bzzz, with the magic missile and then stab some dude and stab the other guy and
man.
Oh no, I hate this.
Our Lord and Saviour. Pirate Steve fan club.
Look, sometimes the NPCs shine. Really, Pirate Steve is just shits and giggles. Really, that's
but hey, he's the life of the party.
So that's how Balazar came to be.
Yeah.
And I got a real feeling the next fight we did was the ambush I'd designed. After that, because
the Johnny Bush.
Yeah, Johnny's ambush.
Right. Yeah, it was.
Well done, Johnny. I loved it.
As we limped back to have our little long rest, as we do, bear in mind there was degrees of exhaustion, etc., and
you're running 4 levels of exhaustion.
Yeah.
And did Pirate Steve not mention a long rest, a camp out overnight?
And again, Pirate Steve has volunteered the information, and at least we had a short rest, because I'm lucky to be standing here now to this day. As that was death.
That was just a small ambush, not a hard, difficult fight or anything, but
that's
probably dangerous because of the level of exhaustion you have.
That's the closest that I've been to permadeath of my fucking character. So I was level 4 exhaustion, then level 5, and then an inch off death. I think it was.
But you're lucky. It was a crit.
But it was for 11. It wasn't 7. It was for 11. But still, I mean, it could have been a lot more.
Yeah, it should have been because it was 3d6 plus strength is oh geez, that's rubbish. So because we probably have to mention look, the DMG is a book and it's got lots of guidelines in it, and I'm running the exhaustion optional rule for when you take a critical hit, you take a level of exhaustion.
Yeah.
When you get knocked to 0 hit points, you take a level of exhaustion. And if you fail a death saving throw by more than 5,
you get a level of exhaustion.
Yeah, I think it's simulates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, that penalty. It's not that we're just grooving the long rest. That has been a factor in our campaign, and initially, to the point where another variation that Dizzy did is that we rolled at disadvantage against the undead that we first encountered. Yeah,
the horror factor. Yeah.
And so our rolls were.
I've not really impressed that upon you past the rule, past the Weller Solstice.
Yeah, but that was a thing.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, disadvantage, you're low level already.
Well, the horror factor was just to represent.
Very cool.
It's just like horror movies. Makes
The
your skin crawl, jump
jumping,
scares.
yeah.
You know, like you've come across an undead monster. You've heard the stories when you were children to scare you to sleep, whatever. But to see something in real life, and to get your, you know, my God, this thing should be dead, and to get your head around it.
It makes sense. It does make sense.
Makes sense.
But then too, one could argue that after continuous exposure, one would become seasoned. Somewhat.
Well, the difficulty check rating goes down. But nonetheless, so that was interesting to start off with. But running with levels of exhaustion.
It has. I mean, I'm always, as my character, I'm somewhat trepidatious. So I'm always the first to put my hand up and off for the long rest. But after we come off the back of the last campaign that we did with our other chap, I'm sort of starting to try to get
got to embrace the short rest.
Yeah,
and
get
really
the pace on a bit.
Just marshal your resources.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, so I've become more mindful of that. Rah rah.
Yeah.
But then the exhaustion has been a factor. So,
that's true. Well, look, I still like the rule.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I still like the rule.
It adds an extra, you know, and a touch of realism.
I think so.
Not only that, it adds more tension.
Yeah.
Because it gets a bit more real. Like when I was running 5 levels of exhaustion, it's lucky that I didn't even correlate what that really meant. It wasn't until afterwards when I turned around and go, oh shit, I could have died.
That's right.
I'm losing my character, man.
Oh.
Big fresh rolls. Well, then I would have gone on cleric, but it was too late. We already had a cleric anyway. There you go.
It doesn't have to stop you.
No, you can have 2 clerics. But Palladian.
Do what you want to do, be what you want to
Palladian. Yeah.
That's right. That's how it goes. Yeah. Ooh.
And then, which brings us round, so
the ambush.
The Johnny Bush.
The ambush, Johnny Bush, is that what you're calling it?
Oh, it's Johnny Bush.
I had the impression that you weren't really impressed with that.
Look, I was impressed, except I nearly died.
You were impressed with the concept or the idea.
I liked it, but I nearly died.
Because that was like 3 CR2 dudes, you know, and the other evil cleric guy just, you know, they think it's you guys, they're not sure.
Yeah.
You're in the area. Yeah, the master knew it. Okay, off we go. We'll let the rest of the cultists know it's the bloody Forsaken again.
No, I enjoyed it. And I survived.
Oh, I thought
survived.
Yeah. Because even after I dropped a couple of hints about, I'd camp out here.
Well, shit.
And you still went ahead and I thought, well, I'm still running this fucking encounter.
What are you going to do?
I'm still running the encounter because I thought it was great.
It happened and it was a happening thing.
Yeah. And it happened to you almost.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, wow. So you limped home.
Yeah, and the king of the long rest.
Yeah.
There you go.
All of his. Yeah.
There you go. So, back to rat and cheese. Back to 5 days of kicking the dog, which is what it took to shake off 5 levels of exhaustion. And in that time, we saw Mistress Curse.
Yep.
You kicked the dog.
Yeah.
What else did we do at that point?
You went and talked because the blacksmith.
That's right.
So just
which brings us round to
Blacksmith. Bjorn Kegsculler.
Bjorn Kegsculler, yeah. So when we met Bjorn Kegsculler, the situation is that there's like a family mine, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Dizzy ain't here. So family mine, and there's some trouble there. He's got no supplies, so I was lucky. I had some battered helmets and stuff I wanted to get rid of, which the party wanted to get rid of. Sold it to him. Asked for money, as I do. Carrick wanted to just do it for the love of God and the love of Pete, and to help the dwarves, but did say that the cousin would offer a small bounty. I think it might have been the sum of 500 gold to facilitate rescuing the mine, liberating the mine. That was basically the situation, wasn't it there, Dizzy?
Oh, wow,
the cousin would offer a bounty of like 500 gold or whatever.
You needed some inducement, and I get that, Bjorn did say that, nothing's, you can't buy the friendship of a dwarf, you know. An enemy of the dwarf is an enemy for life, even generations after.
And Balazar was all for let's do it for the love of God.
No, I believe some inducement was required.
But there was inducement offered.
Yeah, definitely.
He accepted,
So Bjorn Kegsculler is the blacksmith in Ravensport, and his cousin is the owner of a mine, a dwarven mine, about half a day, a day's travel outside of Ravensport in the hills, in the Iron Hills, so to speak, and they were chased out of their mine, surprisingly enough, because of dwarves, by some fell beastie that shall remain nameless to promote more interest. And Bjorn has tasked the players with, can you help us out? Me and my cousin. His forge is sadly not running at the moment because he's run out of basic materials. Now, Bjorn, besides smithing for all and sundry, he does do smithing and repair work for the town militia as well too. So there's always that tie-in, and yeah, he really beseeched the players to help him and his cousin out, and there was an inducement of some money.
Yeah, so I think it was like 500 gold. Or
A small
which
inducement.
is, you know.
But then again, look, whilst we're talking about treasure and about money,
yeah.
I kind of feel that you guys think I'm trying to squeeze you out of every cent that you get.
Not really, man.
Well,
it's not, to me, it's not really a huge focus because, like, healing potions, torches, rations, and then you like the ultimate to get another level up of armor. But that's, I mean, I'm much the same as Carrick. Like, I'm always pushing for a haggle.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a mean bastard.
All right.
And I'll haggle. You know, I don't buy shit full. I haggle.
Because, like, personally, look, you know, lots of things treasure. Gold. I think there gets a point to when, you know, you've got, let's say, let's pick a number. Let's pick a number.
Yeah.
Let's say 1,000 gold pieces.
Yeah.
Right. What does that really do for you?
Well, that's what I mean. What am I going to do with it? Other
What does
than
it do for you?
Another, you know,
Yeah, you know, let's say you're running the best armour you can buy
that's
anyway,
and,
you know,
exactly what I'm trying to say.
and unless you, I want to have a fort or a castle or some BS
I'm
or
really not worried
fine
about
antiquities or lovely artwork
No,
or I love
not
that
worried.
vase, you know.
No.
What does it really?
No.
What does it really mean?
It's just for me. It's the thrill of the hunt.
Yeah.
I'm a haggler.
So.
And you know, in the game, that's comes out in my.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna. Haggle.
Yeah. So I always thought.
That's why I don't want to pay the 1 gold to get in Weller's Solstice. It's not that I don't. You know, like you see, I buy rum for Steve. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, but that's different. Steve's your mate.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
But I'm still going to go for the haggle.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not going to
everyone
haggle.
wants a bargain.
Go. Oh well, you're going to do it for 5 silver, mate, for the rum. You know, like, alright, Steve, have your gold. That's my opinion. Is
Take
that
the gold piece.
it's of limited worth. Money is only what you can buy with it. Look at the situation we got in Ravenstown, where they just don't have the stock. They just haven't got, and the prices are at premium. And rah. You know, like I would like the next level up armor because I'm a paladin.
So maybe if you know, the guys go along and you manage to sort out what's happening in the dwarven mine.
Well, then there'll be some gold. Yeah.
You know, there will be some gold.
But kindly, like I mean, for instance, Morgaine wanted 2 healing potions, not 1 but 2, and Pirate Steve wanted 1, which is fair enough. Carrick quite happily went without, and Sir quite happily went without, and we contributed party funds, and I contributed personally from my own
Yeah,
purse.
everyone put into their pocket for us.
So, you know, and that was of no benefit to myself, you know, so it's not, the motivation is more, you know, like we need healing potions and we need, I need armor.
It's just refreshing to see that it's a group of people that aren't counting the beans, you know. It's like it truly is an environment where, you know, the people are working together towards a common goal, and it's like, you know, no, you can't afford that because you've only got that, and someone laughs and says, I've got 100 gold, I'm going to buy, you know, 5 healing potions, you know,
that's right.
and give you none. It's certainly refreshing.
No, good.
To have that environment where people are working together towards a common goal.
That should be,
you know, and if someone has to pull out of their pocket, they're quite happy to.
And Pirate Steve has carried that throughout the whole, you know, he's gone without several times, and you know, like, in all fairness, he needs to have a potion, that boy. You know, it's only fair. So, which brings us round, so then we went to the mine.
Yes, you accepted the contract, and,
Yep.
and even I believe had a drink to seal the deal a couple of
That's
times.
right,
Yeah,
and there might have been some retching involved.
yeah, someone.
For one.
Yeah, you got to be careful of the dwarf.
Which was
dwarf
a surprise
spirits.
that the Dragonborn is the one that threw up.
Yeah, dwarf spirits not to be toyed with.
Yeah, and the fair
and
maiden
surprisingly
just
enough-
sculled it.
Yeah,
Right.
the fair maiden
Yeah.
drank it quicker than Pirate
Yeah.
Steve.
So, and then we went to the mine and we met Dirk Dolly Dolly.
Oh, the Etten,
Dolly.
yeah. Tuesday night, D&D, game on.